Hey everyone, ready to dive into some SEO magic?
Always ready.
Today we're going deep on those little things that can make a big difference. Page titles and meta descriptions. We're looking at a Search Engine Land article called SEO for Page Titles and Meta Descriptions, How to Win More Clicks. Sometimes it feels like SEO is all about chasing the newest algorithm or trend.
Right. Like we all got to become AI whisperers or something.
Exactly. But this article reminds us that even with all the fancy stuff, those basic page titles and meta descriptions are still super important.
They really are. It's like
Look at
you
it.
can have the most amazing website in the world, but if your page title and meta description are boring or unclear,
People are going to scroll right past it.
it's true. And you got to remember, that search results page is a battlefield these days. Images, ads, videos, those people also ask boxes.
It's a lot to compete with.
So how do we make our listings stand out?
Well, this article lays out a nice framework for that called ATOM. Analyze, theorize, optimize, and measure.
ATOM, I like it. It's like a little science experiment for our SEO.
Exactly. And it all starts with taking a good hard look at what we're already doing. That's the analyze phase.
So before we even start brainstorming new ideas, we got to see what's actually going on with our current page titles and meta descriptions.
Yep. The article recommends using a tool like Screaming Frog to crawl your site.
Like a little SEO detective sniffing out any issues.
Exactly. You're looking for things like duplicate content, missing tags, titles that are too long, all those little things that can trip you up. And you know what else? You should be doing this for your competitors too.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
See what's working for them, what keywords they're using.
Yep. Competitive analysis is key. Figure out what they're doing well and where they might have some weaknesses. That gives you a roadmap for how to stand out.
Okay, so we've analyzed the landscape. Now it's time to get creative. What's next?
Time to theorize. The article suggests using something called the SCAMPER method.
Uh-oh, another acronym. What does that stand for?
Substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to another use, eliminate, and reverse. It's basically a way to brainstorm new ideas by playing around with your existing page titles and meta descriptions.
I'm intrigued. Give me an example. Let's say I have an online store selling handmade jewelry.
Okay, so let's take modify. Maybe your current meta description just lists the types of jewelry you sell. Earrings, necklaces, bracelets.
Yeah, pretty basic.
Right. But what if you modify that to focus on the benefits? Something like, find the perfect handmade jewelry to express your unique style.
Ooh, that's much better. It's more emotional. It speaks to the buyer's desire to be unique.
Exactly. And that's just one example. Scamper gives you a whole framework for thinking outside the box and coming up with fresh ideas.
I'm already feeling more inspired.
That's the spirit. And once we have all these amazing new ideas...
Then it's time to put them into action.
Exactly. But we'll dive into that optimize phase in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good. Can't wait to see how all this theory translates into real-world results. Okay, so we've brainstormed a ton of new ideas for our page titles and meta descriptions using the SCAMPER method. Now what?
Now we got to put them to the test. It's optimization time.
Yeah, the optimize phase. This is where the rubber meets the road, right?
You got it. So we've got all these shiny new titles and descriptions. First things first, got to make sure those keywords are in there.
But not just like crammed in there, right?
Definitely not. It's got to sound natural, like something a real person would actually search for.
Right. And then, of course, we have those pesky character limits.
Oh, yeah. Those can be a pain. 60 characters for titles and 160 for descriptions. Not a whole lot of space to work with.
It's like a little writing puzzle.
It is. You got to be concise, get your message across quickly. But it can also be kind of fun, like a challenge to see how much impact you can pack into just a few words.
Speaking of impact, the article also talks about using strong, action-oriented language.
Absolutely. You want to encourage people to click, right? So use words like discover, learn, shop now.
Oh, and don't forget, unleash your inner fashion icon.
Exactly. Get those people excited.
Okay, so we've optimized everything. We're feeling good. What's the final step in our ATOM framework?
Time to measure our results. See what's working, what's not.
Data time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Google Search Console and Google Analytics will be your best friends here. They'll show you how your pages are performing in the search results.
So we're tracking things like keyword rankings, how many impressions we're getting, and of course the all-important click-through rate.
Yep. And don't forget about organic traffic. We want to see how many people are actually coming to our site from those search results.
Right, because ultimately that's what it's all about. Getting more eyeballs on our content.
Exactly. And this is where the real magic happens. You can see what's working, tweak your approach, and keep iterating until you're getting the results you want.
So it's not just a one-and-done kind of thing. SEO is an ongoing process.
Oh, absolutely. The digital landscape is constantly changing. You got to stay flexible, keep learning, and be willing to adapt.
That's a good life lesson in general, I think.
I agree.
So we've talked about ATOM, but the article also mentioned this intriguing concept called atomic SEO. What's that all about?
Ah, yes. Atomic SEO is like taking the principles of ATOM and applying them to your entire website, not just page titles and meta descriptions.
Hmm. So instead of just focusing on those individual pieces of text, we're thinking about how everything works together as a whole.
Exactly. It's about understanding that every element on your site, no matter how small, plays a role in your overall SEO performance.
Okay, give me some examples. What kind of atomic elements should we be thinking about?
Well, there are the obvious things like headings and subheadings. Make sure those are using relevant keywords. And then there's image alt text.
Ah, yeah, gotta make sure our images are optimized too.
Yep. And then there's structured data, internal links, even things like page load speed and mobile friendliness.
So it's really about taking a holistic approach to SEO, considering every little detail.
Exactly. And just like with page titles and meta descriptions, we want to analyze those elements, see where we can improve, and then track our results.
So the ADOM framework is like a fractal repeating itself at different levels of our website.
Love that analogy.
But this all sounds like a lot to keep track of. Where do we even begin?
Start small, pick one element to focus on, optimize it, track your results, and then move on to the next.
So like maybe start with image optimization, make sure all our images have descriptive alt text with relevant keywords.
Perfect. That's a great starting point. And remember, it's a journey, not a race. Enjoy the process and celebrate those small wins along the way.
I like that. So even if we don't see massive changes overnight, every little improvement is a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. And as you keep learning and experimenting, you'll start to see those bigger results over time.
So for our listener who's ready to take action, what's one piece of advice you'd give them?
Don't be afraid to experiment. Try new things, see what works, and don't be afraid to fail.
Because even our failures can teach us something valuable.
Exactly. And that's how we grow and improve.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive, but we're not done yet. Coming up in the final part, we'll be exploring some even more advanced tactics and techniques to take your atomic SEO to the next level.
We'll delve into things like schema markup, backlink analysis, and content optimization. We'll also discuss how to stay ahead of the curve in this ever-evolving world of SEO.
So stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive. We'll be revealing all the secrets to making your website a true SEO powerhouse. All right, we're back, ready for the grand finale of our Atomic SEO deep dive.
Let's do it.
We've covered so much ground already, from optimizing those little snippets of text to thinking about our whole website like a finely tuned machine. Now it's time for the really juicy stuff, those advanced tactics that can take things to a whole new level. What's first on the agenda?
Well, let's talk about schema markup.
Schema markup, what's that all about?
It's like, imagine you could speak directly to Google and tell it exactly what your content is all about.
Ooh, like some kind of SEO superpower.
Exactly. Schema markup is a way to add extra information to your website's code that helps search engines understand your content better.
So instead of just guessing what my website is about, Google knows for sure.
Right. Like, let's say you have a page with a recipe. With schema markup, you can tell Google things like the ingredients, the cooking time, the nutritional information.
So then Google could show all that extra information right in the search results. That would be super helpful for people searching for recipes.
Exactly. It's those rich snippets we talked about before. They make your listing stand out and give people the info they need right away, which can lead to more clicks.
Okay, I'm seeing the value here. So schema markup is like giving Google a cheat sheet for understanding our website.
Pretty much. And there are tons of different types of schema for different types of content, so you can really get specific.
Cool. So what else can we do to give our SEO a boost?
Backlinks are still king. Remember, those are links from other websites to yours. It's like a vote of confidence from one site to another.
Right, right. But how do we get more of those votes? It's not like we can just force other websites to link to us.
Definitely not. It takes strategy. One good starting point is to analyze your competitors' backlink profiles.
So see who's linking to them and try to figure out why.
Exactly. Maybe they're guest posting on industry blogs or getting mentioned in news articles. Once you see what's working for them, you can start brainstorming ways to replicate their success.
And of course, creating awesome content that people naturally want to share and link to is always a good strategy.
Absolutely. High-quality content is the foundation of any good SEO strategy.
So schema markup, backlinks, awesome content. What else should we be thinking about?
Well, let's not forget about the content itself. Keep it fresh, relevant, and engaging. Make sure you're regularly updating your website with new blog posts, articles, videos, whatever your audience loves.
And make sure that content is optimized for the keywords people are actually searching for.
You know it. Keyword research is key. Put yourself in your audience's shoes. What would they type into Google to find your content?
Right. And don't forget about things like optimizing our headings and subheadings, using internal links strategically, and making sure our website is mobile friendly.
All those little details add up. It's like we've been saying, it's all about that atomic SEO mindset. Every element on your website plays a role in your overall SEO performance.
So true. But SEO can feel kind of overwhelming sometimes, all these moving parts. How do we stay on top of it all?
The best advice I can give is to never stop learning. The world of SEO is constantly changing, so stay curious, read industry blogs, attend webinars, follow the experts on social media.
So it's all about continuous learning and improvement. We can't just set it and forget it. We got to stay adaptable and be willing to adjust our strategies as needed.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try new things, track your results, and see what works.
And most importantly, have fun with it. Because when you're passionate about what you're doing, it shows.
Absolutely. SEO can be challenging, but it can also be incredibly rewarding.
Well, there you have it. Our deep dive into atomic SEO is complete. I hope this has given you a ton of valuable insights and actionable tips to boost your website's visibility and attract more organic traffic. Remember, SEO is a journey, not a destination. Embrace the process, stay curious, and never stop optimizing.